Hi, I'm Jeremy Paul.
And I'm Adriana Hill, and we are the producers for this year's Mass Exodus. Today, we're changing things up in this episode. We're going to take you behind the camera to see how the Mass Exodus 2021 team, both the cast and the crew, came together digitally to create our ambitious, COVID-conscious fashion event.
Join the team in their Zoom meetings that span the globe and indulge in their creative conversation and even more creative conflict. Let's talk about Mass X this year in our theme.
Yeah, we were inspired by, how we can change the world that we live in and how we can make it better for future generations. Obviously, right now with the current global coronavirus pandemic, we need a much needed distraction. So we were really looking to create a theme that was hopeful, inspirational, optimistic, that would provide us something to look forward to.
Yeah, so that's why we landed on Utopia, a recalibrated utopia, where we kind of wanted to subvert the stereotype of what the word means. We didn't want to confine ourselves to one definition and really leave it open to interpretation for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think the importance of this theme is this year?
I think, especially this year, I don't need to tell everyone how the past year has been going. We really needed some hope and really encourage a reflection on the future and how we can make our world better.
For sure. And like we mentioned, it provides a really much needed escape. It gives us something to look forward to. And of course, we will hope that it'll inspire other generations and other people to do better.
In the past, Mass Exodus was created by a group of fashion students on campus and in person. But due to the pandemic this year, we had to pivot and do everything over Zoom conferencing and instant messaging softwares. And now not only that, but this is the first year that the project is an interdisciplinary one. So that means that students from all across FCAT and different programs are being involved. So it's not just fashion students anymore. We have students from creative industries and even RTA working on this project. Every student worked really, really hard, and I was really pleased and surprised by how well and how fast we all came together and how fast we really became a little bit of a family and a really well-oiled machine to make this project happen. And not only that, but students were able to take their passions and their unique skills that came from their programs and apply it to this project in a way that helped make it so unique and different than years before. And we're really, really proud of what we created this year. And not only the project itself, but I'm just really, really proud of the team. This year was a fantastic year, and I'm so excited for you guys to see what we created.
So the current logo is very representative of recalibration. We took the original logo and created something completely new and different that no other Mass Exodus team has ever created before. So just to show you what they looked like in the beginning, we were very inspired by this element of collage, which you can see here in one of the primary logos. This was one of our biggest inspirations for the final logo. Additionally, we were inspired by these lines and really breaking out of the traditional logo, the logo's lines. Furthermore, we were inspired by creating movement through GIFs. And then lastly, you can see here too, one of the inspirations for the main logo now, again, breaking out of that traditional Mass Exodus logo and pushing the boundaries to create movement and fuse this element of collage again and technology and nature together. So the PR and Experience Committee had to collaborate with various different committees throughout the entire planning process. The main committee which they collaborated with was most definitely Design and Brand, as PR and Experience was responsible for creating the content for our social media platforms and our outreach strategies. Design and Brand was responsible for creating all the graphic and visual assets for those promotional plans. So I think that those two committees really went hand in hand and had to have a really big open communication just to ensure that everything was going well and that everything was being completed in a timely manner. Instagram and TikTok are both two very different platforms, one primarily focusing on images and the other focusing more on a user approach through release of videos. So I think during the promotional strategy, we really had to tailor the experience to the platform. So for example, for Instagram, our focus was to keep a really curated, beautiful Instagram feed, something that was really in line with our branding and our visual identity, but also we really kept Instagram as a platform that was informative for all of our audiences and viewers. So that was the main focus of Instagram, whereas TikTok was more experimental, and I think it was much more engaging and user-friendly, just because we got to create fun videos showcasing past shows of Mass Exodus, and I think it was a more personable platform where some of our committee members even went on to kind of talk about things and show their faces. So I think it was a great little behind the screen element of Mass Exodus.
Like promotions, the other committees had to collaborate with one another to plan the production of this year's live event. Let's hear about the process in hiring this year's models and our host, Priyanka.
Guided by Ryerson School of Fashion's principles of decolonization and inclusion, in conjunction with our theme, which is utopia, again, we had to be really careful to make sure we weren't just representing a specific conventional ideal of attractiveness and beauty, and so we did an Instagram search for models, and that was really fun. I think we were really successful at finding a good, diverse group of people. In terms of the host, we felt like it was really necessary to have one given the circumstances. I mean, everyone is just so disconnected, I guess, and so having a host was really our way of engaging the audience and getting everyone excited.
What's her name? Priyanka. What's her name? Priyanka. That's right. This year's host of Mass Exodus 2021 is Drag Race Canada's Season 1 winner, Priyanka. We could not be more excited to team up with queer POC activist, dancing fashion icon, Priyanka. This year, she is going to help us bridge the gap between all of our students' own individual ideas of utopia, and she's going to help us see the similarities between the live show's three realms: nature, technology, and the merge. We just wanted to say thank you to Priyanka for teaming up with the Mass Exodus team. You are a true inspiration and an honor to work with.
So we decided to film the industry preview event over 3 floors of the SLC because it gave us the most variety in exploring our theme of recalibrated utopia. So we wanted to give the chance for the audience to identify what type of utopia, whether that was leaning more towards the organic function or a bit more of a technological function, or a solid blend of the two, or any other possible type of utopia that exists. We wanted to give people the chance to find what they best connected with within our theme. And then that also created a lot of interest for the audience's eye. So because everything had to be filmed in advance, we didn't have the chance to create this really gorgeous immersive experience that the audiences would be inside the building themselves. So the 3 different floors gave us a lot more room to play with and a lot more room to explore how best we can convince the audience that we've identified the themes of utopia.
Planning for the live show has been hard, especially with the COVID restrictions limiting the amount of people that we can have on set. Let's hear from our associate producer on how we handled the logistics and the event this year.
IMAX is logistics under a pandemic, so it is already hard for us to know what we can do under this changing situation. And what we do is basically listing all the things that we can't, and the things that's out of our control. For logistics, because of the pandemic, it might seem that there's nothing left for us to work on. But it is not the truth. The team's actually backing up the whole Maxos team by collecting and selecting the data, making the Google Forms, creates the safety plan, and help design students to drop off and pick up the garments. So it might not seem as funny, but each effort this team has made is incredibly meaningful.
Hi everyone, it's Isabel here from the development team, the group responsible for reaching out to and acquiring sponsors for the Mass Exodus 2021 event. So obviously you guys, this year has been completely different than the previous years for a number of different reasons, and we've had to make significant changes in the way that we choose to approach different companies, the companies we're reaching out to in the first place, as well as the levels of promotion we're actually able to provide them, given that our event is virtual. So what we actually decided to do is we reached out to over 100 different small businesses in Toronto, and we've acquired products in exchange for different levels of Instagram promotion in a giveaway that we have created. So we were able to put together 10 different boxes filled with these products. And we really tried to reach out to companies that aligned with the Mass Exodus values, as well as choosing products that we as fashion students would want to receive in these boxes so that they would also appeal to our Mass Exodus community. So we're super grateful for the participation of these companies, and we hope that our giveaway winners enjoy the baskets. So follow Mass Exodus on Instagram at massexodus_RU to stay up to date and check out the amazing companies.
And finally, let's hear about the process and rationale behind creating this documentary series from our fashion film crew.
The docuseries was a great idea for us to utilize this year with respect to the contemporary times. Plus, it allowed us to segment the process in episodes to highlight all of the committees and people involved in creating this beautiful show and exhibition. And this is the age of social media, so why not recalibrate in accordance to the direction the world is headed?
When planning this documentary series as these episodes instead of a short film that would be about like 30 to 40 minutes long, we felt that this was the best way of including every single fashion student that wanted to participate in MassX this year, but also gave them that deep dive into various parts of their processes. Since having each episode cover a specific subject, we felt that this really allowed the viewer to recognize variations of the unique experiences that each student had from one another, and also allowed us to do kind of bonus episodes like this one that you're watching now.
I think the biggest challenge for the film crew was the fact that we had to make a documentary without being able to actually film anyone because of the COVID restrictions. We couldn't see anyone in person, which meant that all the students had to film themselves. But I think we were able to overcome this challenge by giving them really specific directions and vision as to what we wanted, and all the students gave us such amazing answers with high quality footage, which was exactly what we wanted.
The most challenging part of producing Mass Exodus for my committee, I would say, is not being able to come together in person and have that group energy where we could collaborate and brainstorm and foster great ideas the way a group of creative individuals do when they come together.
We just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of our team members of Mass Exodus. Honestly, this would not be possible without all of you, especially this year. We're looking forward to seeing the final result.
Yeah, everyone has worked so hard and we're so thankful.
The past 18 months have been difficult for all of us, with new hurdles to overcome every day. The world came to a grinding halt, but fashion prevailed. It progressed, fostered community, and evolved. Through this evolution, our graduating fashion students persevered and recalibrated to achieve their utopia. Ryerson Fashion challenges you to do the same, to evolve, adapt, and recalibrate to achieve your own utopia.